It's February 21st, 25. Trying not to be extremely rude about this. I'm tired of morons. Today, I've had a day, and after I went out to eat with my boyfriend, I went for a ride. Okay. Drove by the house in Ravenna. I said I still can't believe I was almost killed over a split level. Not a mansion, a split level, 1970s split level. It's still, if I was going to be killed over something, you think it'd be something better than a split level. And on the way up there, I said, these people are so retarded. And I want you to think about this. Now, think. How would they like some drug dealer to come up to them? We set up button cameras watching you. We were taping you in the shower and washing yourself. We photoshopped it in the other room to make you look weird. He's like, oh, geez. I said, and they come up to you and go, where you took a drink out of the Diet Coke and the room went dizzy and black and you woke up with bruises and throwing up and almost passing out in a personal infection? Or it looked like an injection mark and more bruises. It was us. We were lacing drinks and telling you to say weirdo stuff. We were having the guys beat and rape you. Now give you all your money or we'll put you in jail. These people are such fucking morons. They give them their money instead of calling the cops on them. They're actually that stupid. You know, and then these morons and these fucking retards. I mean fucking retards. Normal people with normal IQs that know better. But they fall for the drug scam and the most idiotic one there is. They act like they don't have an IQ in this area worth a amount of beans. They're such retards. As far as ones falling for the tapes before and that they can do it, some guy named Will said she was weird with herself before. Some guy named Will. Like, there's some guy named Pete, some guy named Eric. Well, who is Will? Will is the one that's supposed to be dating Michelle. Who's Michelle? Judge Peter's daughter from Florida. That's a human trafficker over the Florida human trafficking gang. He went to jail in 22, and she's running the Florida human trafficking gang. So who is some guy named Will? He's a Florida human trafficker. Maybe Bill from the Freemasons up there. But if not, he's supposed to be a really rich guy up there, and he's part of where? The Florida drug cartel. He's a human trafficker. He's a child molester and a serial killer. So is Eric and some guy named Pete. They're drug dealers. You fucking morons. So some fucking drug dealer, some fucking child molester that sells and kills women and children and sells them for sex slaves is going around setting up button cameras in people's homes and stalking them on their own, running drug scams. They are laughing in the face in front of the police. They photoshopped you washing in the shower to make you look weird and laughed in your face. The cops taped him. Everybody knows they photoshopped it. And where I had all those bruises and stuff and sick and almost passing out and personally infected, they were having me drug beat and raped under drugs so I wouldn't know what happened. You talk about coward bastards. And drugged up and told to say stuff so I'd be stoned out of my mind. You talk about cowardly bitch moves. It's way past a mean teenage stunt. It's satanic what they did. But some guy named Will said she's weird with herself. Well, who's Will? Will is the human trafficker's daughter's boyfriend. Part of the Florida drug cartel. So you're getting your information from the Florida drug cartel that's running drug scams on people and selling women and children. And you're going along with the Florida drug cartel scams, right? Because where did you get your information? A drug dealer. That's raping people in their home, a rapist. One that sells women and children. The ones that the marshals haven't got yet. So where did you get your information, fucking retard? From a fucking drug dealer. Where is some guy named Will, some guy named Pete, and some guy named Eric's quartered her to be in my home? Where did they become police officers or FBI agents? They didn't. They're drug dealers running a drug scam on somebody. And you fucking retards, they've already admitted to framing me, photoshopping that, and drugging me up and telling me to say it before and made everything up on me. So, how many times do they have to tell you that? Over and over again, make fun of the FBI, make fun of all you people. How many times do they have to make fun of you? And you don't get it through your satanic sick head. Well, who is some guy named Will? He's a drug dealer, moron. He's a fucking drug dealer. A fucking human trafficker from Florida that dates the Judge Peter's daughter from Florida. That went to jail with 100 other people. The group that didn't get arrested, his daughter and their group, is still here in Ohio, still selling people. But where'd you get their name from? Where did you get any information? Oh, they're running a drug scam on me. It was them. They didn't have a quarter to be in my home. Some drug dealer didn't get permission from the judges to drug beat rape me. There's no such thing as permission. Where'd they give them a quarter to? Because like the police said, that what they did is illegal. Cyber stalking, setting up button cameras, is a federal crime. Like my one boss, his boss is Judge Claire Baldwin, or his sister's Judge Claire Baldwin out in Youngstown. He told her about this shit. She told him, they can run around and tell people they were in your home, but the day they prove it to the police or any kind of law enforcement, they are to arrest them. It is a federal crime. Even the Youngstown police out there, it is. It's cyber stalking, a felony invasion of privacy. And they can take you showering and put you out in space. We all know they can change the scenery. Put your head on somebody else's body, change clothes on you. Everything. Everything's digital. Now, I'm sorry that some guy named Will can scam you. I had better teachers, honey. And I'm sorry you're such a fucking moron that you don't have 2 brain cells between your head and you fall for a fucking drug scam. You know, that apostolic church, they all would have been in jail if the human traffickers wouldn't be involved. Because I still put out hope that Agent John, that told on me for calling the FBI, really isn't this dirty, where they said he was just going after the drug cartel, and he sacrificed me without my permission so that he could get away into the drug cartel. And he was fooling them, and he was going after them. That's what the cop said. And he was only acting this way to get the drug dealers, and he wanted to make sure I wasn't part of these people trying to defraud him. He knew everything was drugged and photoshopped. 18. He never did fool him. Never fooled the cops either. So, in like the Starr County Prosecutor's Office is a fraud scheme. So, what are they trying to do? The Florida Drug Cartel. They're trying to prove to you, you have no rights. That they can violate you anywhere. These people are so morons. They could walk up to them. We set button cameras up in your home. You did what? We've been watching you take the shower washing. We sold you on porn sites. You did what? We took a video of you washing yourself in the shower. We put that in another room to make you look weird with yourself. And where you were sick the other day and you were throwing up. You had a really bad personal infection. You had a couple bruises you couldn't explain. That was us. We laced your drink. We told you to say weirdo stuff, and we beat and raped you so you wouldn't have any memory. Now you give us your money or we'll put you in jail. You would probably give them your money. I called the cops on them. Ain't that stupid? Some guy named Will that dates Michelle, a Florida human trafficker, cannot go around with some guy named Pete that's a drug dealer up there And some guy named Eric, huh? That's a Florida human trafficker running drugs scams on people. Drugging people up for fake confessions, beating, raping them in their homes, stalking them on their own, and photoshopping things like that. And their stalking tapes and laugh in the victim's face in front of the cops and confess to it. But that was years ago. They even told you they made everything up on me. How many times? They photoshopped everything, drugged everything. How many times? How many times, you fucking morons? I've had a bad day. And you idiot people, you need to pray and ask God to give you a brain cell. And some common sense that some drug dealers cannot do this to you. And I'm sorry, if you don't have a brain cell, then go out and get some mental help. And somebody sit down and tell you, you actually live in the United States of America. And people don't have the right to run scams on you like this. And ask God to forgive you for ever falling for such an evil scam from drug dealers. And they're child molesters that are selling people. Women and children. So where did you get your information? From a Florida human trafficker. Some guy named Will that's part of the Florida human traffickers that is dating one of the main human traffickers' kids. He's a Florida human trafficker. He will sell you for body parts and your kids for sex slaves. And he's running drug scams on people with Pete and Eric and the rest of them. And it's just the drug cartel. The police have even told them it is nothing but a drug scam from the drug cartel. And it's the drug cartel doing it. But do they ever shut up? No. Because they're too stupid around here. I swear, we're Ed at the Oakland apartment on Cleveland Avenue in 21, he said, I think the COVID virus damaged people's brain around here and it caused a great mental crisis. People are finding things funny that aren't. When I was talking to Altman Family Physicians, I said in summer 18, I was seen for migraine headaches and throwing up. Yes. I said, and dizzy and almost passing out. Yes. Bruises I couldn't explain and large ones and muscle pain. Yes. And a severe swollen personal infection. Yes. I said, I found out my ex-husband hired drug dealers. Not to only just stalk me, but Photoshop a shower scene in the other room to make me look weird. And that nurse's face went like this. And I'm like, and where I had those bruises and I was infected, he was having them roofing me with date rape drugs, telling me to say weirdo stuff. And they had beat and raped me. That's what caused it. She went, that's what caused it? That's what caused everything? She said he's a vile, sick animal having those people harm you like that. When you don't look at them as vile, sick animals, there's something wrong with you. Like my boss's sister, Judge Claire Baldwin, they can tell people they were in your home before. But the day that they prove it, the law is to arrest them. They can't go around being hired, the drug cartel, to run these kind of scams and exploit people. It's racketeering, cyber stalking. Then they admitted that they sold kiddie porn of my grandkids going potty. They sold me on porn sites with Dave in showering and go to the bathroom, and my whole family on porn sites using the bathroom. They admitted they were human trafficking me. Drug beat and rape me under drugs. I take a drink in the room and go dizzy and black. Wake up with throwing up, almost passing out, dizzy, migraine headache, giant bruises, muscle pain, and a severe swollen personal infection until I couldn't go to the bathroom. And then injection marks and more. And they were having strange men drug me up for fake confessions, beat and rape me so I wouldn't remember. That's a bitch move. Construction workers up in Akron said, it was like a mean teenage stunt that went too far. It's a satanic, evil stunt. And it was done by drug dealers. It's documented and verified by the police. I was framed before, and it was a drug cartel in my home before. Okay? I'm not in a good mood today. Not in a good mood at all. And I don't need people with no IQ and no common sense to realize none of this is funny. And that they're morons. It's just like them saying, oh, The cult paid those dirty doctors off to falsely diagnose her before. So where they're saying where it is documented fraud by Altman Family Physicians in the fall of 2002, medical malpractice and medication errors, and that it's documented fraud, and they were known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, ripping off their insurance, and wanting to do unnecessary procedures, that they're crooks, that the cult paid them, and it was actually attempted murder. My God. And I told you about that other lady using my insurance for 15 years, and I think my whole marriage was a scam, and she was there before. She was probably one of the ones from Barb's basement who was having sex with, because the heavyset white woman showing up at the factory 9 months of us getting married. And I think my whole marriage was a scam for him to get out of poverty. The whole thing was a scam. Okay? Her using my insurance for 15 years, running up copays, us getting stuck with him denying that lady the whole time, but then there's a woman using my insurance. Medical card, prescription card, everything. Ran up all kinds of bills. Now I want you to think. He is nothing but pure evil. And then you can't, you can't say somebody has level 2 brain tumors and you're causing all the symptoms of brain tumors. And another doctor said it's fraud and they're doing this to do that unnecessary procedure. You get off the medication, you'll be fine, causing seizures, causing heart attacks, your whole body to swell up, your thyroid, your adrenal gland to shut down. Okay? You're dying. And they tell you they're known for doing this to people. Okay? Then they're saying, the doctors documented it's fraud. All of it was fraud. They were all lying, just ripping me off, making me sick. Ripping off my insurance. Okay? It's documented they did. The police the Altman Family Physicians told them in 2018. They encouraged Dave and I to sue him for 2 years. Oh, they had a dirty doctor write up. She was found insane. Well, that would be fraud. None of my doctors could talk to a call. There's HIPAA violations. And mental insanity is not curable. Mental illness is not curable. It's right on Google. You say that about somebody and somebody is fine, that's flat out fraud. It takes a judge to find you insane. You have to have a competency hearing. You have a right to an attorney, a right to your own doctor to dispute it. And it takes a judge to find it. Set up a guardian, social worker. I take care of people like this. And then disability. You can't just pay off somebody dirty to write up fraud. Because it's not curable. Your brain's damaged. That's why you're on disability. That's why you have to have a competency hearing. That's why you have to have a guardian and a social worker. You don't have all that. You just saying you're paid off somebody dirty to write up fraud? And they were in the cult's pocket? None of my doctors could talk to the cult. There's HIPAA violations. They can't testify in court against you. They can't ever speak about you until you die without your consent. So, all you're saying is the cult was paying. They even said that they paid them all to do that to me. That it was premeditated attempt to murder. My God. Now, they paid off a dirty doctor, da-da-da-da-da-da. You, like a lady investigator, they'll all go to jail for that one. It's not curable, so you can't say it, and then the person's fine. Then it's flat out lies and fraud. And then the cult wouldn't know what doctors I went to unless they were in their pocket. That or it's one of the lady that was using my insurance's bills. And where, like they said, with that occult and Dave letting them, that lady used my insurance, they were setting me up the whole time. I'm not going to play with this. Like they said, she'd own those people. They're looking at life and federal for that. Like a lady investigator, they'll all go to jail for that one. It's premeditated attempt to murder and hiring an assassin, and the doctors are saying that they're the assassins. People are thinking a logical mind of what these idiots are actually saying. See, that's where occults would rather kill you or destroy you before they let you go. It's like, why are you people involved? I look at you people. Dave tried to have me killed to get everything. You know what it cost him? Everything. He gave up everything he had in life and everything he had worked for in life and fled the country forever so he wouldn't go to jail. But do these people stop running their mouth? Oh, they did this, they did that. Then go confess to a Stark County sheriff that you committed fraud. Go confess to a Stark County sheriff that you are having somebody drug beat and raped. That you are cyber stalking somebody on your own. It's a felony invasion of privacy. It's a federal crime. That you were actually having me human trafficked. You are having me drugged for fake confessions. Don't expect to go home, because you're going to have life in federal. Go ahead and go confess to them. Because it's already documented fraud and medication errors and medical malpractice, and they already know about that other lady using my insurance. And you can't say somebody was found insane and they're fine. That's right on lies and fraud. See, it has to be proven in a court. And a judge has to be found you insane. It's right on Google. You can't just pay off a dirty doctor. My God, you could just walk up to a dirty doctor. I'll give you 20 grand to write this up. Give you 10 grand. Sure, sweet. Destroy everybody you hated. It takes a judge. You can't just pay off a dirty doctor to write up a lie. It's fraud. See, they're so stupid. Occults think they can say it, and then they can do it, and it's true. And if they say it enough time, it'll be true. See, that's the mentality of them. They're insane. They're brainwashed. Like these people falling for it. They know better than that. Because can they go pay a dirty doctor off to write up something on you? No, you don't. See, there's no proof of it. So if somebody is totally competent and totally sane, if it's not curable, what happens? The person was lying. Exactly, and that's automatic fraud. Medical malpractice, medication errors, you automatically go to jail. Now you're saying you work for a cult, or breaking HIPAA violations, and you're harming somebody for an occult? You're not realizing what you're confessing to. And hard telling what bills are those ladies. Because like when Altman Hospital called me, we want to talk about your stay in the hospital. I said, I haven't stayed in your hospital years. You see, Dr. So-and-so, never heard of him. Tell him about this lady using my insurance. She said, well, we sat and talked. Don't you remember? I'm like, ma'am, I've never met you. I told you some other woman is using my insurance. Well, you said you had 2 little girls. I have 3 boys. Sorry, I have 3 boys. I'm telling you, there's some other woman. Now, you got to think where my brother said, I had heard about it before, and Dave totally denounced her. Heavy-set, white, and they called her a round woman. She may have been pregnant. That's why he asked me to marry him, so he could get a job at my dad's factory. And he could have a way to support her. Because heavy-set, round, white woman. Why was she round? I bet she was pregnant. That's where the 2 girls that showed up during the case and said they were Dave's illegitimate daughters, I bet they are. And where Barb told me after we got married, I'm so glad he settled down. And married you. He wouldn't stay at home because my my deceased mother-in-law, had Parkinson's, shake, and she cried too. So he stayed at John's Cowgirls, and he only made $80 a week working for him, or his sister-in-law Barb's in the basement. I'd come home and he'd have all kinds of strange women having sex with him in the basement. I'd hate it. At least now I know he settled out. He didn't settle down. And how much you want to bet one of those girls from the basement was a lady that used my insurance because she was there 9 months later. And for her to be heavy set and round, I was 105 pounds, size 3, big blue eyes, auburn brown hair, and I looked like Linda Carter. And he's going out with a heavy set round woman. I confronted him with it. He said, Karen, they're lying. They're just trying to break us up. 18 and stupid. He said, I'm always at work, but with you. Well, we all know he don't stay at work. And back then, we didn't have cell phones. You know what kind of phones you had? The kind that attached to the wall with the long cord. We didn't even have cordless back then. We're talking 1985. I remember when cordless phones came in, they were wonderful. Cell phones, when they first started being accessible to the public, they didn't have cameras. So where I told my brother to get proof, you would actually have to carry a camera around. Couldn't do that at the factory. He didn't get me proof. But like Kay McMillan said, there's rumors of you cheating on Karen. There's a heavy-set round woman showing up. He said, they're not talking to me, they're lying on me. Of course, he would say that. And I don't know who she is, and some crazy woman has her information used in the factory's thing. She's like, oh, no, you had to give it to her, or she wouldn't have it. She went Harry Carey for 15 years. Half of my medical records are hers. Like an investigator said, that Church of Dave set her up the whole time, letting that woman use her insurance, or they wouldn't have done it. Now, we're going to have a long talk. The only thing you're confessing to is you paid off a doctor to commit fraud. And that you paid the other doctors to almost kill me. It wasn't just negligence. That it was premeditated attempted murder and you hired him as a hitman. Do you realize what you're confessing to? And that you're confessing that the cult paid these people off to write up all kinds of fraud. It's automatic fraud. If you're fine, it's automatic fraud. Just like I don't have level 2 pituitary tumors, I don't have epilepsy. Like Altman Family Physicians, you realize all those doctors were lying and it was fraud. There was nothing wrong with you, but your muscles locked up. All that was lies. Lady showed up last week. I looked it up. In 2002, they did document it as fraud. Oh, yeah, they did. Encouraged Dave and I to sue for 2 or 3 years. So every year they would go over. There was nothing wrong with you. All those were false diagnoses and fraud. They were just ripping you off. I know that. It was a medicine making you sick. I know. Now they're trying to claim more fraud. And that they were the ones behind it. My God. See, they're such morons. They don't understand what they're saying. They're actually that fucking stupid. Can you pull out a competency hearing out of your ass? So I'd like to know. I wasn't invited. And by law, I have to be there. Can you pull out a court order to be in my home before? And you're a police or an FBI agent with a court order for protected custody case with statements? Because I never talked to you. And Dave hired Pete on his own. A drug dealer. That's why I was being drug beaten raped, like Officer Mark said. It's documented and verified she was framed before, and it was a drug cartel in her home before. So where they're saying some guy named Will, who is he? He's drug cartel. Some guy named Pete, who is he? Drug cartel. Some guy named Eric, who is he? Drug cartel. He's a Florida human trafficker. Running a drug scam on somebody. Drugging them up and telling them to say stuff and photoshopping and washing in a drug scam. That's who was in my home. Documented and verified she was framed before, and it was a drug cartel. It was documented and verified it was a medication error that made her sick before. That's medical malpractice and fraud. Now you're trying to say it's premeditated attempted murder. Be careful what you're confessing to. And it's documented and verified another woman was using her insurance. So you can't say uncurable things are wrong with people and they're fine. It's fraud then. See what I mean? Stop listening for the bullshit that's flying around. I gotta upload this.